You had to earn your way to this spot.
Yeah, it was a little trial and error, but we got there.
Do you know what Fireside's all about?
I think I've witnessed it long enough to know what you're about, and I think Fireside is a good explanation of different characters and people and like-minded people that come together and get to share their trials, tribulations, successes, families, love, passions, and I think that's what you like.
And a big part of it is turning around and helping the next guy in line.
For sure.
For those guests out there that don't know me, I used to work with Marky's good cousin, Richie. Shout out to Richie Grizz. That sounded like a gunshot.
That what?
That sounded like a straight up shotgun.
There's nothing better,
Only
baby. How you doing?
Hey.
That was perfect.
Richie worked at our firm, came in and worked with my business partner, Guy, and I. I got the pleasure of meeting Marky, going up to the Helm, just seeing what a great person you were. But what mattered most is how much of a giver you were. And Fireside is predicated on people who turn around and help the next guy or girl in line.
Yep.
And you were doing that across the board in your restaurant, in your community. You were trying to take Greenwood Lake to the next level and helping raise everybody up.
Yep.
So for those people who are going to see this on the other end that have never seen Fireside before because they're watching it for you, whether they're a lover of you or a hater of you, they need to know that Marky Palmieri's heart is always in the right place, whether he did right or wrong at that moment.
That is correct.
And that's why you're here. I don't put frauds on my show.
We know it.
And I appreciate you here. I love you to death. You also check me in different ways.
Of course. I mean, God, what kind of friend would I be if I didn't do that?
And I appreciate the shit out of you. We're very similar, also very different.
Yep.
And I'm glad to get your story on here today. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of laughs, some fucking jabberjawing between the two of us.
Might be a tear. I'm an emotional bastard, so.
And this is going to be a fun story, so thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. Salute.
Dude, we all have the best time ever to start a small business.
If I'm not going to be 100% in, I'm not going to do it.
Come on, man, just be yourself.
Yeah, and
just show up as yourself.
If you don't realize what I'm really about, I'm about freedom, family, and my country. So, born and raised in West Milford originally, or
West Milford, New Jersey.
Your whole life you were there, right?
96 square miles. Huge. Too big.
Massive.
Yeah, too big.
Most people don't know where that is in Jersey even.
North Jersey, all the way up top. You really can't go any further. I mean,
the next point is New York.
Next point is New York. You're going to Greenwood Lake, New York after that. But yeah, West Milford was incredible little town. Big town, I guess, but felt small. You know, huge, but you knew everybody. And we were extremely embedded in that community, and my family was extremely embedded in that community, whether it was sports or church or, everything. My mom still knows every person out there. Can't go to ShopRite without somebody saying they saw my mom there.
Shout out to Mama. I know she misses me.
I'm sure she does.
She's gotta miss me.
Yeah. Linda loves them all. She loves them all.
She's the best.
She loves them all.
Especially when she was the hostess up at the Helm.
Yeah, she was. She drove me crazy, but for a good reason.
Yeah, but your love for your family, your friends.
That's why I do it.
Yeah, it's like very, it's like I'm the cold guy that will kick out. I want to give, I want to help. I really do. That's my heart. But like, your gifting is next level. You told me about something nice. You bought your beautiful girlfriend, Lauren, a Vespa. But a Vespa recently.
Yeah, it's her dream. So we got a little Italian Vespa.
Yeah, like just like your excitement telling me the story.
Yeah,
like,
it's cool, man.
It's like a quick microcosm of who you are, and even for your family, your mom, your stepdad, your dad, brothers, sister.
Yeah.
It's really a representation of how you were raised.
For sure.
You know, by some great people. So I'm going to fast track your childhood. I don't need to go through elementary school, middle school. Talk about us, Marky in high school. Who's Marky in high school?
I was high school, man. I thought I was on top of the world at that time in my life. I was a little insecure, but popular and friends with everybody as I was, and trying to fit in, playing football, doing track, not running track, throwing shot put. I didn't run track. We threw shot put.
Yeah. We all got that.
Yeah. Not run anywhere to the fridge.
Except from the cops.
Had a lot of really great groups of friends all over the map, older than me, younger than me, different circles. I loved being the guy in West Milford in the high school. I loved being part of sports. I loved being, the school spirit winner and in the book. What is that? Yearbook.
You wanted to make people happy.
Always, man. It was my number one goal. I was always there to support. I was always there to make people feel good. Always there to have a good time, whether it was throwing a party or, just showing up for somebody. I remember my very, very, very close friend in high school started varsity as a freshman in basketball. I didn't miss a basketball game from freshman year till senior year. That was I wouldn't miss it. It's what I live for.
Yeah, that love in you is rare. And
Yeah.
And even when people fuck up in life, it's people
Yeah.
recognize someone like that, and they're like, damn, how good of a good person that is.
Yeah, I think it's hard to really capture, right? Or embody all that, because it's a lot sometimes for a lot of people, right? And you don't it's also hard to take that and then give it to other people and really structure that for one person, because then you're like, is everybody special to you, or is it just one person, right?
Yep.
So it's hard to prioritize one human being, because then you're like,
and then people start thinking is he does this for everybody?
Right.
Is he full of shit?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in high school, you were a big boy.
A full 295.
Weren't number one with the ladies. They
Not
might have
number
loved
one.
you, but
No. Good friends.
good friends.
A
You
lot
were
of
in the
good
friend
friends.
zone.
Yeah, a lot of good friends. 295 in high school and then 385 in college.
Now, in high school, did you start to have? I have a question about college, of a business you were starting.
Yeah.
Did you have entrepreneur dreams from childhood?
Yeah, I always wanted to own a restaurant. It was still on the refrigerator when I was in, first grade.
Why?
I'm not sure. My family, always big Italian family. We grew up around the table, got everybody together, and I think because of the love of my family and it brought people together, and I was always so excited when there was an event, right? And it was always usually around some sort of big dinner holiday. So I think that's why I am where I am today with the restaurants and doing all these weddings and everything. It's just because it brings me that satisfaction, that joy that I used to have when I was a kid, and it's what I always knew I wanted.
You're in the
to do.
zone, and we're gonna get into how good you are at it and what I think you have a super high intelligence for, but I don't want to get there yet.
Sure.
So go through high school, play some football.
Played some football.
Never played your whole life. Doing
No.
to being a big guy. I had the same
Yeah.
problem.
Had to sit it
Make
out.
weights.
We had to sit it out. We had to sit it out until high school.
All the
No
big
weight
boys,
limits
you
in high
know
school.
what's up.
Yeah.
You
Shout
then-
them out.
You then go off to college.
Yep. Went to East Stroudsburg University. Played 1 year there.
How was it?
Got my ass kicked. I was a small guy in college. Wasn't really dedicated to it enough as I should have been. I was working a lot, hanging out a lot, partying a lot.
You launched a business in college, right?
Launched a business in college.
What was that business
Yeah.
called?
AWOP.
What was AWOP stand for?
As weird as possible.
And you were essentially throwing parties.
We were throwing college theme parties. Yeah, we were going up and down the East Coast. Different colleges. We had a full recruiting program where we were finding ambassadors. People that moved the needle. You were looking for people that were like you.
Center of influence.
That's it. It didn't have to be the best looking girl, or it didn't have to be, the most popular guy. It was the guy or the girl that everybody, when she was going to that bar, that's who everybody went with. When he was having a party, that's whose house they went to. Right? So we knocked on doors. We slept on couches. We slept in our car. We were broke.
What was the idea behind it?
The idea was to go to each college, find this nucleus, this group of people who were going to then push this party. We were going to set up this huge party at one of the local bars or warehouses or whatever.
Were you
it may be.
21 at the time?
We started the program when I was 19, but my partner was 21. And then we, grew into it a little bit. And we would find these ambassadors, and they would take over, and they would move the needle, and they would sell these tickets, and they would pack the place out, and we would make a vig on top of every ticket sold. And there was incentives. We teamed up with these people who had this spring break company, and the people who sold the most tickets got a free trip to spring break. I mean, what was better than that? A couple bucks in your pocket. You were sitting in the VIP section.
Whose idea was that?
It was mine and my partner Joe's at the time, who's now my partner in everything that I do.
And Joe's last name?
Romano. Yeah.
Give Joey some love.
Yeah, Joey's the best, man. I wouldn't have what I have today without him. He's incredible. He's the best part of what I'm not.
Yeah.
And everybody needs one of those.
Yeah, we all have strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
So where did that business end up?
So we were doing well. We ended up throwing some pretty big parties, and then we just did not have enough cash flow to keep it moving. Joey was getting serious with his girl at the time. I was serious with mine. Traveling up and down the East Coast wasn't great for us. We hit some rough patches with money and said, you know what, let's go back and get some jobs and settle down.
Did you finish college?
I did.
Graduated?
Graduated with honors.
What was your degree in?
Hotel, restaurant management, and tourism, HRTM.
Out of most people I've interviewed on this podcast, that couldn't have been a more fitting college degree.
Yeah, and I'm still using it, which is
Yeah.
weird, right? Like, no, people go to college and they don't use anything that they learn.
Yeah, most people, because
Yeah.
we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what we want.
Yeah, everything changes over time. I mean, I still don't know what I want, but I know where I'm going right now. But college was fantastic for me. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, you were somebody that embodied all of that.
Every bit of
fun
it,
and
man.
love and
Every bit of it, from bouncing to, delivering pizzas to, I mean, you name it, we did it. Throwing parties, it was incredible.
so you graduated college.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go?
I went off to Preakness Hills Country Club in North Jersey, in Wayne. I was working there. I was working as a server, assistant to the GM.
Private club?
Private club. Yep, 1%ers, pretty high end. And I was working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, learning kitchen, learning front of the house, learning from one of the best guys I've ever learned from, James Messina. I haven't
Chef?
seen. No, he was a GM, but he was everything that I wanted to be at the time. I never really wanted to be a chef.
What was special about him?
He was a dog. He was a dog. Nobody outworked him. He showed up in a $1,000 suit, in $800 shoes, and he was there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, resetting floors, catering to the members, outworking every single person every single day. And there was no question where he was what he was at 27 years old, 28 years old. There was no question. He was a stud. He's a stud. And he never missed. Details in our industry were so important and are so important. And I think a lot of people miss that now in restaurants.
How long were you there?
I was there for about 4 years.
4
and
years.
then
what were you doing?
I was everything from serving to, I was working underneath him, serving to setting floors, making sure parties ran smooth, lead for events, lead for weddings, lead for bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, huge weddings, setting up events, galas, charities, everything.
Yeah. So what did you learn most while there, besides what you learned from him?
What did I learn most? I would say just how to be polished around people, right? Like, this industry is super difficult when it comes to what people want. And if you can accept the fact that, or the way somebody speaks to you about something, whether it's a burger or the way their napkin is set, like, I accepted that really young, that,
Yeah, you're getting smoked right
I'm getting
now.
crushed, yeah. I accepted that really young, that I was okay with people demanding certain things from me, and that polished and really forged the stone for me.
Nugget. I was in a sauna the other day. 2 young kids, maybe they watch this, I don't know. I'm sitting there, and you know me, I really can't keep a thought to myself sometimes. And the kid's like, I'm at this restaurant. I don't want to say what it was, but it's a fancy restaurant. They probably make great money as young.
As most do.
Yeah, as young kids. And they were like, these people are just so demanding.
It's true.
You want to get into any service-based business,
Hospitality.
especially hospitality, learn and accept that they are there spending their money because they didn't want to fucking create dishes, go buy the food, cook it. They want to get wined and dined.
And it's not personal. I don't take anything personal, right? If somebody wants a burger cooked rare with red onion and no sesame seeds on their bun, and you bring out it totally rare, it's not personal for me. I just, and if the chef fucks it up or somebody messes it up, I'll take it on the chin. But I learned that early, and I think that's what I learned. That was a really good place for me to get thick skin in this industry. because most people get into it and they can't take it on the chin. For me, it was like, like this going public for me and opening my own place was simple.
Yeah.
Right? It was easy. I could tell you get the fuck out if I didn't like you.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that at the
Well,
club.
that gets to the next level, right? You
Yeah.
build that, but
Yeah.
we'll get into that. Where did you go from there?
From the club, I had a bunch of members at the club, and they would tell me every day, they're like, man, you're in the wrong industry. You got to come and work for me. You got to sell. You got to be in front of people. You are in the wrong industry.
Isn't it funny when wiser, older people
Yeah.
notice these things in you that you don't know?
Yeah, and they did. It was early too. I mean, I'm 22, 23, 24. And they're like, you got to get out of this. You can't be doing food for the rest of your life. And they offered me a couple jobs in finance. And I went to UBS, and I was a junior financial advisor. Passed the 7, passed the 3, passed all those health and life. And I hated every single day. Hated going to work every day for 5-6 years. Hated it. Gut-wrenching.
Why did you listen to these people? Because they had more money than you? They had a lifestyle you desired?
Because I was looking for the guidance to get to the dollar. Right? Like I was 23 years old. Why would I not? These guys are living the life. They're pulling up in fancy cars. They're dropping money. I watch them, spending money, having nice things, taking, private jets. And I was young and I wanted it, still want it.
So at that point, where'd you go?
Went to UBS.
I know. What did you do from there?
I went to work miserable every day. And I started bartending on the side at a little place called the Vreeland Store right outside my parents' neighborhood where I grew up. Awesome little spot. Two girls opened it up that I went to high school with, wonderful girls. And they did a great job. And
What's their names?
Vanessa and Carissa, they still own it. And they did a great job. And it's still doing amazing. And they gave me a call one day. I think Vanessa was like, hey, come help us out over here. So I started in the kitchen for them. And I was working there part-time and loved it. I enjoyed it every day, and it turned into part-time. Then I'm working my full-time job, and I'm doing it 4 days there. Then I start bartending for them. And next thing you know, I'm there all the time. I'm bartending 4 days a week. And I have a packed house every night. Every night, people coming in to see me, have fun. It was awesome.
Did you notice at that point, you're, say, 25?
Yeah, I was about 25, yeah.
Did you notice that you had a special ability to attract people?
Yeah, I knew I needed to be in front of people and not behind the line anymore. I knew that was something for me personal that I enjoyed on top of people enjoying me being in front of them.
Yeah.
Right?
You like it just as much as they like it.
Yeah, it was way better. Like if I was standing behind the bar, everybody was coming in.
Let me try to knock this smoke down for you.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm going to need to put sunglasses on you over there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I loved it. I loved every second of it, man. I loved every second of it. I was driving my four-wheeler from my parents' house to
Now we're talking.
the local bar, and it just opened, and it was fun. And the guys my stepdad's friends that I grew up with were coming to see me every night, and we were having a blast, and I was loving life. I was
Making good money.
Yeah, I was engaged at the time. I actually
At
got
25?
engaged during that time. Yeah, about 26, 25, 26, yeah.
So young.
Yeah, very young. Very young.
How'd you feel about that decision?
Oh my God, I don't regret it one bit, but I was definitely young. Not really, I was kind of living in a very lustful world at that point, not understanding what life really was.
Well, you're 25.
Yeah, in my mom's basement, my parents' basement, having fun, enjoying it, driving out to Pittsburgh, literally get out of work at 12 at night, drive to Pittsburgh, spend a day there, drive back home to go to work the next day.
Pittsburgh, that's where she was?
That's where she was, yeah.
And that was, she was still in college?
Yeah. Getting her doctorates, yeah.
So, 25 years old, engaged, bartending.
Yeah.
Living
Working
in your mom's,
UBS a little bit still,
Living
trying
in-
to get out.
living in your mom's basement.
Yeah.
Was your brother Nick at UBS at the time?
Nick was at UBS. Yeah, Nick was working with the managers at the time, doing awesome. He kind of got me in there, got my foot in the door. But he was built for it. He loved every second of it. And it just was never for me.
Yeah.
I remember my reviews. They would bring me in.
Are you older or Nick's older?
I'm 16 months older.
Yeah.
So I'm at my mid-year review for like the 4th year in a row. And the guy's like, listen, Mark, we love you, man. Like, we love you. We can't get rid of you. But, like, you haven't gotten anything done in 4 years. You're always up and about talking to everybody, going to everybody's desk. And I couldn't sit behind a desk. I couldn't sit there and sit behind a computer. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I needed more fulfillment for myself.
Yeah. So you're working at this bar.
Yep. And I meet my partner, Jenn.
Jenn was at the bar at the time?
No, Jenn
I think you guys met her at catering.
No, I met Jenn. Jenn came in to the Vreeland Store. She was doing some part-time. The place she worked at closed for the winter. She came in just for a little side gig, just to stay busy. She was in the kitchen. I was in the back. It was a 1-2 punch, and we got so close. She was awesome. She is awesome. I love Jenn. Talented, man. Talented. Cooks her ass off. I love eating her food. It's the best.
So,
super talented.
What type of plans did you guys put together?
So we would be doing it every day, and her wife would come and sit at the bar with me, and I'd make her martinis, and me and Jenn would talk about the restaurant we were going to open somewhere in West Milford. So we were talking one night, and I said, let's open up a food truck. Let's get a food truck and put it on Greenwood Lake. She's like, what the hell's Greenwood Lake? I said, it's a lake down the road. So put it on Greenwood Lake. It'll be, we need some really good food over there. So we go, and we're looking, and turns out West Milford was going to put us through the ringer trying to get a food truck permit and being on the lake. So one thing turns to the next. I get a phone call that we found a building, and there happened to be a restaurant in it, and that the guy was willing to rent it out for dirt cheap. I mean, $2,000, full beach, lakefront restaurant. Place was a complete shithole, but Jenn was like, after 30 beers one night of us bartending and cooking together, she's like, let's do it. And I said, all right, let's do it. And that's where it all started.
That's where it kicked off.
That's where it kicked off, yeah. We were both working full-time jobs again. I was still at UBS. We would leave work, go to the Helm. The Helm didn't have the name yet. And we would work all night, every night, till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We built that place from the ground up with literally just me, her, my brother, Alicia, help from our friends, my cousins, Richie, Paulie, everybody. I mean, they would be there every single day helping us.
And when you launched the Helm,
yeah,
what was going on up there in Greenwood Lake? Why did you think Greenwood Lake,
Greenwood Lake was the spot for a long time, man. Greenwood Lake in the 70s was the place to be. I think it's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most bars per square miles, in the country. It's 2 square miles.
I mean, how far is it from New York City? It's
50 minutes from New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, close, super close. You're there in 55 minutes, and it's a hidden gem. It's beautiful, but it was pretty stagnant in the higher end food department. A lot of local bars, they were still wonderful, still doing great.
So you roll into town.
Yeah.
Yourself and Jenn.
Yeah.
And as Marky does,
yeah,
you start to build relationships. You guys are putting out delicious food.
Yeah. Jenn was killing it.
The place is rocking.
Yeah, it was awesome. Right away too, like that. I mean, we were out of the red in 2 months. 2 months, which is insane.
Yeah, unheard of.
Yeah.
So, what was going right there? What was the right thing? What was the wrong thing?
Oh, we had the recipe. There was nothing wrong at the time. We had her in the kitchen, her flavor profile, her imagination, her plating. It was something the area hasn't seen in a really long time. And you had me behind the bar. And I brought in some really good friends of mine that were studs, just on the service level, and we did magic every night. It was beautiful. Every night you'd have the food, the service, the ambiance, the feeling.
How old were you?
27, 26.
Still engaged at that time?
Yeah. Yep, still engaged at the time. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was magic.
So now you're 27. 27.
Yeah.
You have a rocking bar.
Yeah.
On a lake. What can go wrong?
Yeah. What can go wrong?
A lot, right?
Yeah.
We're young.
Yeah, there's there's opportunity for greatness, and there's opportunity to mess up a little bit and to make some shitty decisions and some bad calls and hurt some people along the way. Never meant to.
How long were you and Jenn partners?
About 5 years, right till COVID happened.
And then COVID hit and she
COVID
stepped
hit.
away.
Yeah, it was, things kind of fizzled out. Jenn was looking to go in a different direction. And I was still ready to keep piling through and doing my thing. And I wasn't really ready to give up on the Helm yet. And we're still really close, and I'm very thankful for that.
So what's the biggest struggles that a young guy finding success, and what most people don't realize when you own a restaurant and cash is coming in at a rapid rate, you think a certain dollar amount is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we were untouchable. I was untouchable, right? And balance was not even in my vocabulary. There was no balance. It was work, find every excuse to either be working or act like you're working to go party. That's it. There was nothing else to it. I mean, I missed more.
Did you almost feel like that was like your persona and that's why everybody loved you?
I felt like I had to keep up with what I was doing, right? And I thought like it was probably way bigger than it was. It's just a restaurant, you know, in a little town. And I see that now. But at the time, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. You know, I couldn't go anywhere without somebody saying, I've been to your restaurant, heard about your restaurant. Couldn't, like, anywhere. Didn't matter.
And you were doing a ton in town. You were creating like winter ice sports, hockey.
Yeah, we were doing a lot.
You were doing a lot for Greenwood Lake.
Yeah, I love Greenwood Lake. I still love Greenwood Lake, and I love the community and the people in it, and I'm forever grateful for what it's given me. I mean, it's forever grateful.
Where did you go wrong?
I let that idea of what I thought I needed to be get the best of me. Spent too many nights out, spent too much time trying to make too many people happy. Should have worried about more.
And that's your nature.
Yeah, just should have spent more time worrying about my four walls and my roof than what was outside.
Started to party hard.
Yeah, I partied a lot.
It's easy to do. Everybody can throw stones
Yeah.
at young kids that do something wrong.
Yeah.
Even my son nowadays, he's 4. You know, the things that he does, you're like, all right, he's a boy, he's 4, he's curious. You know, 27-year-old guy making good money, it's all cash, partying.
Yeah.
A lot of pretty women around.
Yeah, easy to go wrong.
Wasn't
Easy
great
to go
for
wrong.
your relationship at the time.
No, very bad for my relationships.
And
Very bad.
That obviously came to a halt for you
Yep.
and her.
Yep.
And now you're in this bar,
Yep.
in this town.
Yep.
You're the man.
Yeah. Well, so I thought.
Yeah, so you thought. On top of the world.
Yeah.
And then the Helm continued to do well.
Yeah, the Helm consistently making money, consistently doing great.
Yeah, and I got to paint the picture of the Helm. I mean, you come in, you have Marky who's like shaking hands and literally kissing babies. And, you know, everybody's wife loved you. And you came in, everybody felt...
Let's keep that, like,
everybody
from the bar side, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody came in and felt special.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because of you. I mean, I drove up there.
Yeah. I mean, it was small, too. That's what's so special about it. Like, you walk in there, you were transformed right away. You're totally in a different space. I mean, it was 10 tables, small little bar. Like, you walking into the Helm.
Every night.
Every night. Walking into the Helm was an extremely special experience that, like, when we were doing it, you couldn't replicate.
And then at one point, you're like, hey, I should buy a pirate ship.
Yeah. Actually, that was Jenn's idea. But yeah. So my buddy texts me, who we'll get to, Joe, who I bought the Irish Whisper with, messages me on Facebook as I'm in I'm working and I'm behind the bar and I get a text and it says, you should buy this. And it was this 55-foot pirate ship down in Virginia. So I walk into the kitchen and Jenn's back there cooking her ass off. And I said, hey, pal, what do you think about this? She looks at it, she swipes twice, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here still. Get it out of here. Go get it. So I grabbed one of the guys off the floor. I pulled him off the floor, And I said, come on, we're going to Virginia tonight. And he's like, all right. So we hop in my truck, and we beeline it straight to Virginia. Made a quick stop at my little sister's college at Towson University. Surprised her at the bar she was at on a Friday night.
You brought AWOP back?
Yeah, for 2 hours.
They pay you VIG, 10% to the big guy?
Always right to the pocket. I share the love though. Gave it to my sister. And we drove down to Virginia. And we got there at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was a first buy basis. There was one car in front of us. Guy comes to the window and he's like, what's your story? I said, listen, I got a restaurant up north. We're on a lake. It's called the Helm. It's nautical, but it's not Joe's Crab Shack, and it's not cheesy like that. I said, I would love to have this. I want to turn it into an Airbnb. I want to have this thing. He's like, all right, well, we'll see if she takes it or not. So our time comes up. We're in this beautiful peninsula, like just beautiful. The guy had all these boats, and he designed one for Disney, sold it to them. Designed one for another big name, HGTV or something like that, sold it to them. And I got to go on this boat, and it was decked out to the nines. 55 feet, skeletons and everything. And you got 15 minutes to decide if you were going to stroke the check or not. So we got back in the car, and my buddy looks at me, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I'm buying a pirate ship, man. That was it. Wrote the check out, gave it to the guy. We drove it was 8 o'clock in the morning, to the closest bar that would open for us. And we sat there, and I was like, what the hell did I just do? What did I just do?
But that's what action takers do.
Yeah, man.
They go after it.
Yeah,
that's your vision. What was your vision for the pirate ship right away?
Get it to Greenwood Lake.
What was your vision, though? Getting it there?
Get it there, and then do some sort of
on the boat.
Dining on it. Yeah, 1,000%. Dine, have private parties, just make it awesome. And I knew, I'm not the design guy. Jenn was always the visionary. And when she said go get it, I knew she was going to do something crazy with it. I knew. I was a mule. I knew she would tell me what to execute on it, and I would execute on it. Mm-hmm. But I knew it was going to be awesome. So I said I had to get it home. So we did. Called the company from Miami. Drove up. They picked it up in Virginia. Drove on up to Greenwood Lake, New York.
Let's shorten the story on the pirate ship. What did you end up doing with it?
It's currently sitting in front of the Helm still. It's fully renovated, ready to go for Airbnb, and it'll be available this summer, right on Greenwood Lake.
That's awesome.
Yeah, after 6 years.
So as you're at Greenwood Lake, you
Yep.
have the Helm, you're building great relationships. How did you ever get into Airbnb business?
Being behind the bar, I was talking to so many different people, and I was available for people. And a lot of the people that were coming to the bar were just looking for a guy, and I was Mark with a guy. And they would be sitting there, and they'd be like, "Hey, we're going away for a week. Can you meet the plumber at the house? He's got to work on the ACs." Or, "Hey, my boat's getting delivered. Can you just meet him there?" And I was doing it for people. And I thought to myself, man, I own bars. I don't need them to keep paying me in beer. I got to start making some money with this. So legislation was passed in Orange County where you had to have a agent of the property, they called it. So if you didn't live in Orange County, you had to have somebody signed on your property to be an agent. If they needed to 24/7, if the cops needed something for them to reach out to that was local. You couldn't be in California, you couldn't be in New York City. They wanted somebody local. So I was talking to a friend of mine, Lisa, who's now my partner, and started the Upstate Outpost with us, with me. And she's like, there's an opportunity here. You know so many people from the restaurant. It's the clientele we're looking for. Let's go after it. Airbnb was just starting by us, just starting.
I want to get into the unique way that you guys approached it.
Yep.
Let's take a quick break and we'll come back.
Sure.
So jumping back into Airbnbs, there's a couple different ways that you can go at these, right? You could be the owner.
Yep.
And you can own the property.
Yep.
You could still hire a management company.
Correct. Most of them are digital.
Digital. They call it Airbnb arbitrage.
Right.
You and Lisa at the time realized that you had a abundance of people that you were talking to. You were well liked.
Yeah. Extreme niche market.
Yeah.
Extreme.
You're in a niche area.
Yeah. Extreme.
Where do most of the people come from that own the houses up there on the lake?
The city, New York City, Long Island. Most of them were were from New York City,
Yeah.
really, most of them.
As well as Mr. Jeter.
Derek Jeter, yeah, 100%.
You ever meet him?
I haven't. I know his family, but
Is
all,
his house?
all good folks.
Does he still own the house up there?
6.4 million.
Still owns
You
it?
could buy it.
Really?
Right now
It's for sale?
Yeah. 6.4. Tried reaching out. I'm trying to throw an event there, but they're not interested. I don't know why.
Fireside should reach out.
Can't imagine.
Then we'll get it done.
Yeah, get it in there.
So, what approach did you and Lisa take to Outpost?
Boots on the ground, right away.
Taking out the garbage, cleaning the
Yeah,
places.
boots on the ground, man. It was easy for us to be accessible. Like we were so accessible for these people, and we were there fast, right? And we were willing to do the things that most people aren't.
And you weren't owning anything yet.
No, we own nothing. We own nothing. We were just we figured out that we can sign a contract, take 20% of every night's stay for these people, and be the communications, the boots on the ground, the cleaning team, the problem solvers, the mediators, and the town liaisons in one punch.
And you had a ton of relationships in the town, which was
It was easy.
extremely helpful.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And it was better for the town too. It was better for them to work with two people. They knew exactly what they wanted when you're working with a building department or permitting or whatever it is. And they always had to deal with the same people instead of them having new people come in all the time and having no idea how to fill out a permit, no idea what insurance was, no insurance, no idea how to do a floor plan or what they expected. It was easy for them to deal with us. So we were a good answer for most people.
And how many locations do you guys have today?
We have 35 today.
35. And do you own any of them?
We do not own any of them, no.
Still doing an arbitrage
Yeah,
model.
Full arbitrage model. 20% every night stay.
And how big has that business grown to?
We're going to do 750,000 in revenues this year.
It's great.
Yeah.
And that was like a side game.
So like 750, right, with no overhead,
Yeah.
right? So we can do 1.5 at the restaurant, but the margins are so small.
Yeah, food costs.
Yeah, and it's all a headache 24/7.
Yeah.
This was 750, and we're
What did that business teach you?
besides the fact that maybe restaurants not all I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, I learned a lot from the people that I got to interact with, my clients, right? Who they are, what they do, how they were able to get in the position to hire somebody to take care of their second home. That was extremely helpful for me growing. I learned to make myself available. I learned to make myself resourceful in many different ways, and also how to delegate and demand things from different people that were helping me get the job done. So bringing guys on.
Because you're still running the restaurant.
Yeah, we're running the restaurant. We're now doing this. We're now doing, some small renovation jobs. We're now, who's power washing, who's putting on new roofs, who's gutting their bathroom and renovating it. We do a little bit of everything like that.
Airbnb's going well. The Helm's going well. You continue to run hard, party hard.
Yeah.
You start tripping up a little bit, right? And
Yeah.
let's paint the picture for people. Young person, single,
Yeah.
making cash, easy party scene.
Yeah.
I know when I'm in the mountains, I get sucked in.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do.
Sure is.
You start kind of fumbling. You start,
Yeah, we're dropping the ball a little bit.
yeah.
We're dropping the ball for sure.
Was it a word or you?
Me, personal.
Yeah.
Totally me. Full responsibility on my actions, my mistakes, the things I did wrong, people I hurt.
For people that don't know us, you and I had a pass because of Richie,
Yeah.
and you were partying hard, and not that I didn't party, and I still love a lot of bourbon
Yeah.
and living good. I challenged you on a couple things,
Yeah, for sure.
and you were kind of like, "Who the fuck is this guy to
Yeah.
challenge me?" Like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got going on?
Yeah.
And it was never like peachy relationship the whole way through, knowing each other. But I always knew your heart was there.
Yeah, I don't think I ever lost that. I know I'd never lost that. I think it just got clouded for a little bit, and it changed who Mark was, and not who I ever wanted to be. Right? Like I never wanted to,
Yeah,
be
we get caught up in
somebody-
it. The attention, the money,
Yeah,
the girls.
Yeah, and that was the hardest part of it. Was like I hurt people that I really didn't mean to hurt. I made some mistakes, made a bunch of mistakes.
So let me press you. Let me play, as Rogan called Steel Man. So if you didn't really want to hurt people, then why did you do it? Because that's a question everybody goes to.
Yeah,
right?
sure. I guess I wasn't strong enough for the truth. And I think in any aspect of life, if you just be real and tell the fucking truth, you're going to get so much
Set you
further
free.
in life, man. You're going to get so much further. And I was willing to lie through my teeth to everybody just to try and make somebody feel good. And it was wrong. And I made some mistakes, and I'm definitely sorry for those things. And I've tried to right my path. And
at the same time, you still were so talented that you were able to
yeah, man,
keep it going. And
I don't know how, but yeah, we did. I hit rock bottom.
at what point? About 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, I decided that I hit rock bottom. Not that I decided I hit rock bottom.
Yeah, I don't think you
And-
decide that.
No, I hit rock bottom, and I decided that I had one choice, right?
Let's talk about your rock bottom for a minute.
Yeah.
Before you tell us about the one choice. You told me a story, and we had a lot of like little fights over texts,
Yeah.
which I don't even know why we really do. Like,
Nah.
I'm not your coach.
No.
I don't have any monetary connection.
No.
I think it's just people knowing good people, real people. And again, we're very different but similar.
Yeah.
You told me a story even earlier today about being in your place and quickly recognizing that you needed to make a pivot.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I was not in a good spot. I put on the persona that I was in every aspect of it. Every day I tried to go out acting like I was fine, everything was good. And I was in a dark place. I was out too much. I was making the wrong decisions with girls. I was hurting people that I truly, truly care about to this day.
That's the tough part, right? Is like,
Yeah.
do I get forgiven of,
Yeah.
God says that you should forgive, right? But it's hard to emotionally forgive people that hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. Sometimes you have to just like take a step back, and I did, and I had to like kind of live with it, right? And you got to figure out, and in that time I had to sit there and realize, are you going to be man enough to fucking get out of this? Are you going to be man enough to look yourself in the mirror and say, dude, you fucked up. Can you make this right? Or at least fight your way out of this hole.
And
At least fight your way out.
and you shot me a text around that time.
I did.
Why?
I think maybe I was grabbing, and I always thought, well, Ryan always spit the truth to me and always gave it to me real. Maybe this is just a hard conversation I had to swallow. Right?
And-
Maybe it was just some reality that needed a good punch in the face to me. And
I think sometimes people need to get out of their ecosystem.
yeah, that's. I took a ride.
Yeah, you took a ride down here to the pit.
To the pit.
We had
2 years
Keaton
ago.
on,
Yeah, we had Keaton on.
and at the time you had gone through some problems
Yeah.
with your beautiful lady.
Yeah, we were horrible. We were in a really bad spot. Who's now the absolute love of my life, and we were in the worst place we probably could be.
So think about a guy who has every friend in the world, and he's the man in town,
Yeah,
and he's got to drive down to an old friend to reach out and give a hug and
Yeah.
give a cry on the shoulder to a couple real people.
yeah,
That takes balls, dude. That takes a desire to really want to win.
yeah. I needed to change something, right? And I was out there looking for a reason to figure it out.
And it's not easy to be like, let's go to mommy, let's go to my dad, let's
Yeah.
go to a buddy who maybe was partying with you. Like they don't really get where you were trying to go.
Nah, sometimes the closest people to you are the ones that do the most damage.
Yeah, they're enabling. They may
They're
not do
just going to
damage.
they're going to allow you say and do and act the way you've been. They might tell you you're doing wrong, but they're not going to make you feel a sort of way. And I think where I was, I needed to feel a sort of way. Like I needed.
What in you, when you were sitting at a house and you told me you reached out to a guy in the area and said, I just need to leave my house.
Yep.
I'm in a bad place.
Yeah.
I need to go, just be somewhere different.
New scene, man. I need to change my scenery. I need to change my patterns. I think that's like my MO of this, was that we all get stuck in these patterns and this idea of what life is supposed to be every single day. And you get so lost in what you're actually supposed to be doing or what your worth is. And I was so lost. My patterns were so bad. I thought I was working hard, doing people right, making money, building a business, growing a family. I wasn't doing a single thing.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't doing a thing.
Yeah, what was the reality?
I was failing.
Yeah.
I was failing. Failing.
But it takes a real man and a real person to identify that and ask for help. And that's the biggest problem in this country today, in my opinion.
1,000%.
Everybody gets stuck on this like hurdle, and they may not ever get past it in life because they won't drop their ego, they won't be vulnerable,
Or they look for acceptance in a community.
and they may find it in a shitty one.
Right. Most do, and most are not. Don't take the mental capacity to or strength to get out of that spot and just say you deserve better, because I deserved better than the life I was living.
You knew I always loved you.
Yeah, always.
You came down here, and this is not about me. It's actually about you.
Yeah.
Keaton Hoskins, which was on the Diesel Brothers.
Yep.
I hired him for coaching.
Yep.
My buddy Trevor West, who I was mentoring at the time, said, hey, we check this guy out. He flew out from Utah to the podcast. They were the #1 show on fucking Discovery for 8 years. And I said, Mark, you come down.
Yep.
Take a ride. I could tell you were in a spot that you weren't loving life. You're like, I want to just get out of my area.
Yeah.
You came down here to take it from there.
Yeah, I drove down. I sat by the inlet for a couple hours, cried a little bit, tried to get some of the weakness out that I thought I needed to get out, to come hang out with a bunch of strong dudes that kind of knew where they were going in life. And I showed up here and everybody was great, and we had a couple drinks, and I remember being there, and it was maybe after, trying to shoot it with everyone, and I started talking to Keaton, and we hit it off, and he's like, is there something going on with you? And I said, yeah, there's a lot going on with me right now.
Isn't it funny how people can sense
Yeah,
that?
he knew it right away.
He is
like that.
He's
he
very
knew
good at it.
He was great. Knew it right away. And he's like, well, give me a call. Call me next week, or I'll call you. Forget what it was. Actually, I think he said he would text me. So I gave him my number, and I was like, yeah, what's this guy? He's gonna fucking text me. But, who am I? So we sat here and we had a great night. And I remember leaving. I was staying in the
Stole
hotel
my
down the road.
jacket.
Stole your jacket. I just gave it back tonight 2 years later.
2 years later.
Yeah.
Kelly's wearing it.
Yeah. She left. And I remember going back to the hotel feeling a little bit better about the day. About life, right? And I felt like I was in a better place and just feeling good for the first time in about a month or so.
How quick your ecosystem can change with who you change, who you're around.
Yeah. Or the idea of where you belong or what you're doing, right? So
and you quickly realize when you're there that you belong there.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt good.
Right? How quick, everybody here loved you.
Yeah, I didn't have to, there's no trying.
I knew you would fit in instantly.
So we did that, and I guess I went back home, and a couple of days later I get a text message from Keaton. He's like, hey man, let's do a call. Hop on, let's talk a little bit, see what you got going on. And we did.
And you hired him for some mentorship.
I hired Keaton right away. Keaton was, at the time, for me, the best thing that I ever did.
And let people know what that cost was.
$3,000 a month.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would never, the average guy or girl would never.
No, I spent $3,000 a month to have somebody tell me once a week for 1 hour, just to how to help me get out of that hole and have the right mind. And
call you on your bullshit.
Call me on my bullshit and be real, and then also help me through the emotional parts of things. Of that, people fuck up. You know, people make mistakes. But if
It's
you
not your
could-
life story. You're
no,
30.
if you could be man enough, if you could be man enough to just say you did wrong and that you're not going to do it again and actually believe it and act on it and be that guy, you can change the world or your world.
What started to change for you?
Everything. Started talking to Keaton, moved out of my house, got a different scenery, started changing my patterns, started doing more me time. I started, working on myself and the business for a certain amount of time a day. Then I would spend a certain amount of time doing personal things. And then I spent more time with my family, going to see my mom. My nephew was playing hockey.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw you doing a lot of hockey.
Yeah, my nephew's, the love of my life. Was going to hockey games. I was going to watch my niece play basketball.
Getting back to old Marky.
That became more important to me than going to the bar, seeing who's out, spending a lot of money, buying champagne and expensive bottles. Exactly. That's
a lot of young people have done it. No one could judge.
No.
Drugs, alcohol, girls, the whole nine. Everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of people have been there.
Yeah. So I focused on that, man, and I really listened to what he said. Every time I got off the phone, I felt a little bit of weight that I had on my shoulders from everything. I felt I got one more shovel off my back.
Because you could just say it.
Yeah.
Just to get that dirt off your shoulders.
Felt good,
So
man.
many people don't do it.
Felt good, and I'm telling you, and
And it was somebody you didn't know. It was across the country. Keaton's in Utah.
Yeah, it felt good every week. It got a little better, and a little better, and a little better, until I felt like I was back. Like I was me again.
And you had a pretty lady in your life at the time.
Yeah.
You wanted to really fully earn her love and
Well, I
trust
lost her, and then I was going to do everything I could to get her back.
And
Everything.
you did.
And I did.
And things started changing your business.
Business got better. Life got better. Stress got better.
Perspective
Changed. Pure, utter happiness in myself and my home and my four walls are the most important thing to me. That will never change. Never.
Yeah. Back to you being a giver. You love.
Yeah, that's it, man. I focus on exactly what I need to be focusing on right now, and it's keen and strong, and I'm super blessed to be where I am right now.
But now you go back to town.
Yeah.
And you piss some people off, right? You come in, big personality, having fun, wanting to, for all the good reasons, no male intent, wanting to take over the town and bring it love and bring it attention, and you're partying, you had some mishaps. Now you got to play, catch up. Now you got to do some repairs.
Yeah.
What is your thought process?
Well, I think we're kind of off on that.
No, I'm saying you come back into town.
Yeah.
You have the Helm still.
Oh,
you won your lady back.
Yeah, I gotta mend some relationships.
You gotta mend some relationships.
Yeah. We gotta mend some relationships.
You gotta get serious on the business.
Yeah. The business needed more than Mark in a book bag. Just like my relationship, it took a ton of work. A ton. I had some hard conversations with people, relationships that I messed up, whether it was some contractors, some friends, some family, some neighbors, people that I really care about, still really care about.
So you told a story to me, and we don't have to bring up anybody's name, but you're like, this guy gave me a price one day, and I just lost on him.
Yeah, man, good guy too. Really good guy. Great guy. Known him for a long time.
But when you're in a shitty position and you're stressed out, you make dumb moves. But what's admirable about you, and where most people fuck up, is they just simply can't say sorry and swallow their fucking pride and say I was wrong. And it seemed like you were doing that a lot.
Yeah, I would rather have somebody say nothing to me at all after I've made a sincere apology for my mistakes, because I think people are so taken back by a sincere apology because
it doesn't happen.
Right. So I felt like if I made a sincere apology, and if you
I want nothing from you.
If you
Just
never
like,
wanted
just
to talk
accept
to me
this.
again, if you still hated me, if you still had bad feelings about me, I totally get it, right? But I needed that for me, right? I wanted that for me, and I felt like I deserved to get that off my chest and say, look, I know I fucked up.
And I
know
guarantee
me.
most of those people accepted it because they always knew your true heart.
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
you can have a good heart and
Yeah.
still fuck up
Yeah,
and be wrong and do dumb shit.
I think there's some people today. They're still probably upset with me, but I think they're they know where I lie.
Yeah, you're never going to win everybody.
No.
You know, there's a lot of people in this world. And if we can just get our close friends and family and the people that matter to believe in us, we can go win
For sure.
anywhere.
For sure.
And, you know, there's people that we may have done wrong
Yeah.
by accident or just being stupid. You know, as long as you go and apologize. And again, that's all within reason.
Yeah, yeah.
All within reason. But, you know, most of your shit was dumb shit.
Yeah, I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid, and I needed some growing up, and I needed some harsh reality, and I got it.
Where'd that take you after all this?
To the best place in my life, where I am now.
So a few months later,
Yeah, year later maybe.
year later,
Yeah, things start getting better. Life starts getting better. Business is good. Relationship is strong. I feel great about who I am and what I do, and my stress level is gone. I think people get confused about life stress and business stress. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a small business owner, if you are a large business owner, if you accept that role, you're going to have stress for the rest of your life, right? You're going to have it no matter what. You have it every single
that's
day.
how you manage it.
It's how you manage it, how you manage the people around you, the people that work for you. But I most of my stress was gone. I could handle work because I love it. I love being an entrepreneur. I love running businesses. I love building businesses. I love the boots on the ground, being the guy, being available for people for business. I love it. There's nothing I love more. And I love meeting people. I love every bit of that. But my stress at home didn't exist anymore. There was none. My anxiety didn't exist anymore. There was none.
Because you weren't fucking up.
No, my four walls were strong, man. My foundation was solid. And everything around it started getting better.
What do you think about business ownership? Small business owner.
I think small business owners are some of the strongest and mentally strong humans that are out there. I think anybody that has the I don't say balls, but balls to get into it and take that leap of faith has something special, and I commend that.
Is it worth it?
1,000%.
Why?
1,000%. Because you get to be what you are, who you are. You get to provide for your family on your terms, and I think that's what America's about. I think being able to give to the people that you care about, the people you want to give to, you get to also provide something for somebody, get financial gratitude out of it, and also some sort of instant gratification for yourself. Like, I'm doing something I love, and Ryan loves it. Like, Ryan feels good about it. Not only does he feel good about it, he loves coming to see me. He doesn't mind giving me a couple bucks for it, and then I get to go home and spend it on my family.
I haven't given you any money.
Yeah, he's right. I don't even think he's ever paid for a meal.
You came down the last two events.
2 events. Yeah, that's why I got the seat. Finally.
You drove your food truck, which is just another small little business of yours. Fork this.
Oh, I love that food truck, man.
Yeah, and you're great at it. Your team's great.
They're great, the best.
You said, Ryan, I just want to be a part of it.
That's it. I told you. I just want to come. Let me come help out.
I want to help, and that's what I want people to understand in you, is that is your heart.
Yeah.
When you do have a friendship or a bond with somebody, it's like, hey, how can I provide value to you?
I try telling everybody I believe I'm one of the biggest givers there are. And if you want one, I'll give you 2. If you ask for one, I'll give you 2. If you ask
take.
If you ask for this much, I'll give you this much. But as soon as you take, we got to restructure the deal.
Yeah, there's a lot of takers out there.
Too many takers.
Yeah, you got to be careful and protect for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where does the future take you?
Honestly, the opportunities come across the board every day. Every single day, a new opportunity comes, and I'm blessed to be in the position where I can pass it along, or I can call Joey and say, "Hey, Joe, what do you think about this?" Currently, we are building such a strong team. New hire, Megan. She's my full-time assistant, event coordinator. She has changed the correspondence and foundation of what we're doing into such a more streamlined process.
Which is so important. Most people
I mean,
overlook.
she has booked $270,000 in catering in a month and a half. I mean, it's out of control.
And just to bring the viewers up to speed, you kind of shut down the Helm.
Correct.
You moved over to the country club.
Yeah.
You're doing catering as well still.
Yeah, so we moved to the club. We own the buildings. We own a couple buildings, commercial buildings in Greenwood Lake, the Helm being one of them. We're a little indecisive in what that space is going to be for us. Currently, we're using it as catering.
You're pruning the garden of your real estate.
Yeah, we're on top of that. We have another commercial building that we're going to build 6 apartments on. We own another bar that Lauren is taken by the horns, and she's renovating the place and doing an incredible job. And I can't wait to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I'm super excited about it for the first time in a long time. And I think with the team that we have is just spectacular. I think we have such a good foundation of CFO, operator, executor. I'm not too sure where it's going to go, but we have a great foundation right now.
You're still learning, but you've learned a lot. So
Yeah.
you've taken that experience and now brought it into this, and you brought in some great partners.
Yeah,
that
I mean, we're
compliment you.
We're also glad to be a part of what the pit is, and I love being in the pit, and I love talking to the guys and girls, and Carly has been a huge part of what I'm doing right now, who's a pit member, and Ryan and Nick and Chris and everybody, Matt, Trev, everybody's been great.
The Fireside and the Pit's going to come up to Greenwood Lake soon.
Yeah, we have to.
We're going to do a sick event.
1,000%.
We're going to bring some big names in, some big eyes.
1,000%.
For those of you in Greenwood Lake that may feel a certain way about Mark, his heart's in the right place. He's a smart guy. He's never going to stop.
No, we're going to keep it moving, for sure.
Yeah, there's no other choice.
No, not for guys like us.
Yeah, there's no other choice. And I want to give some love to Lauren.
Yeah, please.
And your beautiful little boy, Luca.
My boy, Luca, my 3-month-old, and my stepdaughter, Ashley. It's the best thing that ever happened to me, man.
That's your drive now.
Every day.
Purpose, a why.
Yeah, every day. They've given me something different, man. Something different that I thought I was never going to have again. And I'm forever grateful for it. There's nothing that'll change that for me.
Yeah, it's like I'm over at this house I'm looking at, and my kids are going, sticks, I got sticks. I said, dude, you got sticks for fucking decades if you want sticks.
Yeah.
Surrounded by woods and trees. And I'm like, this big mortgage payment that my wife and I are taking on, it's for the kids, it's for the family.
That's it.
It's not just for Ryan to say I did it. And all males, I don't give a fuck what you say. Like, you want to have a beautiful house and a nice setup for your family. Like,
yes, absolutely.
Say anything different, you're a fraud.
Yeah.
And I know that's a huge, huge thing that you want to provide for Lauren and the fam.
Yeah, I want to give them everything. Everything. I want to give them more than I was given, and I don't think I missed anything in life as a kid. I think I was blessed enough to have incredible mother, father, stepfather, who made a really, really great guy. And there was nothing to want for nothing. But I know I'll provide more than that, and I'm happy to do it, and I want to provide for my family, my parents.
You're motivated.
And give them more than they gave me. That's my job.
I like to ask 2 questions at the end.
Yeah.
We gave a lot of love to different people, but if there was anybody else you wanted to give a shout out to, who would it be?
Who would it be? God, there's so many people. I've been blessed with so many great people in my life. My sisters, Sammy and Steph, my father, my stepdad, my little brother. my best friends, Tim. My boy Tim has been I'm not sure if Tim knows how important he is to me. He's a great individual who's going to be something extremely special one day. And he went through a harder time than I did. And
What's so special about him? Just a consistent friend?
bro, that guy never strays. He never strays, ever, from anything. From what he is for his boys, to what he is for his family, the father that he is, the son that he is. He doesn't stray. That guy has been there for me since the day I opened the Helm. My buddy Max. I know I gave love to my buddy Joey, but Joey's been the rock that I've always needed for the business. And I can't talk enough about Lauren and our future. I could go on forever because I don't think I would be where I am right now. The people that have worked for me at the Helm, the good, the bad, the plenty. I can't say enough about everybody that's allowed me to have the mistakes, has forgiven me, has not forgiven me. And I'm grateful for the opportunities that I get every single day, man.
I think your friends that stayed your boys for a long time always saw and knew the real Marky.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, like, sometimes in our life, I think we could all get lost.
Yeah.
Think who we are.
Yeah.
Run into fucking family issues, money.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But, like, when you're a real fuck, like, you always come out on top.
Yeah, winners win. Winners win, man. And
life will humble you into the ground to make
yeah,
you
win. Yeah.
And it humbled you into the ground.
Yeah, it did. It made me believe that, you know, even in your lowest moments, and everybody can watch TikTok videos and get inspired, and, you know, Instagram videos, and
yeah, you got to do the work.
But this is real. Like, this is real mistakes right here. Like, I've made real human mistakes. I've made.
And you feel like shit about them.
Yeah, I've done some good stuff. You know, I've done a lot of good.
You've done a lot of good. I want to make sure I point that out too.
I feel like I'm just a normal guy that's trying to make it, and we all struggle and we all go through problems and stress and financial problems, and I'm a living proof that you can fail and mess up and really fuck up and then get back up and do it again.
You're learning.
Yeah, and be great. And that's okay.
Last question.
Yeah.
Any young guy or girl going into your industry or small business, what's the one thing you would tell them?
Find a you, find a me, find somebody. Because I wish I had somebody. I wish there was somebody telling me, you know,
guiding you a little bit more.
Steer the ship a little bit better. You know, no pun intended. Like, steer it a little better. Like, just have your fun, enjoy it.
Lay off that.
Yeah. I wish that.
Accountability partnerships are so fucking powerful.
Yeah, but if it's somebody that's real and holds you accountable, that's different, right? Like, there's plenty of people that are out there that just, you know, want to take the check and want to, you know, meet with you for your 45 minutes and pass you along. But if you can find somebody that knows what they're doing, can admit failure, can get back on the horse and ride off into the sunset, and then is willing to step outside their boundaries, be uncomfortable, I'm not sure you could lose with somebody like that.
No.
Right? I mean,
you're betting on yourself. You're betting on them.
I don't know. There's nobody else I'm betting on.
Marky, this has been fun. We could have brought in a ton of other stories, but
yeah,
I wanted it to be genuine and real.
Yeah, this felt good, man. I needed this one, and I've been looking forward to this moment for a while. So.
And we'll bring you back, and I want to talk.
Maybe more business next time.
Yeah, I want to talk more specific of your understanding of how the catering runs.
Yeah.
And how all of what you have built has finally come together as a whole.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get too locked in on the business part of it and forget that there's real emotion and mistakes and mishaps and apologies and forgiveness and love.
It's a huge part of fucking business.
Yeah, but people lose that and they forget that it's a huge part of it. They just focus on one thing, and that's okay. I love money.
Yeah, money makes people funny.
Yeah, but I'm the first one to admit that I've done I've done a bunch of things wrong. I've made them right. And I'm glad to be here. I'm thankful and blessed for what I have. And it's just going to get better.
Yeah, you're going to keep crushing.
Yeah.
I love you. I
love you
appreciate
too,
you,
man.
brother.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
That was
Salute.
fucking great.
Thank you.
How'd we do?
That was really good.
That was great.
Is this the farewell podcast too? Is the last one at the old set?
Yeah, I didn't even mention any of that, but
Throw it back.
no, that's fine.
Now you're gonna make Marky really cry.
Well, I told you,
You want to say a little something about the end of our podcast?
Are they still rolling, Matt? So, this is the last podcast here in my current backyard in Point Pleasant with an old-time friend, Marky, it's special to me.
Ryan, let me ask you.
Ask.
How do you feel, right? You've come a long way from what I know. When I met you, you and Kel were in a little 2-bedroom apartment, right? Here you are, built an incredible business, an incredible podcast, just bought an incredible new house for your family. What does Fireside have in the future? What are we looking forward to?
A lot of people winning, coming together for 3 things: our country, our families, and financial freedom.
Thank you.
There's so many people out there that go and make good money and never turn around and help.
Yeah,
And I don't understand that shit.
yeah,
And I'm an underdog,
Right.
I dress different than most finance guys. I was kicked out of high school. I don't have a fucking MBA.
right.
And although I've rounded most of my edges, I still think people fucking sleep on me. And I have a really, really, really big motivator inside my gut and
Right.
my soul and my heart to fucking help.
Do you think leveling up your life and your family's life and the things you do on a daily basis is going to take everybody else who looks at Ryan and wants
Yes.
to believe in Ryan to the next level?
Yes, it's inspiration because people have followed the journey.
Right.
Rob Bailey has said, document the journey. And
Right.
it's something I've picked up from him. So if you saw this from inception
Right.
to where I am today, like I was making 500 grand in the finance business. I was doing okay, but I was still fucking off.
Yeah.
I wasn't working crazy hard. And then this focused me with some passion and purpose
Right.
on top of my family and loving my country to go take my life to 7 figures and let everybody see that journey. I've been very vulnerable.
Right.
I've put my life out there. I've put my family out there. I've put my numbers out there. A lot of fucking pussies online don't put their numbers out there. You're coaching people. You're running businesses. You have pretty logos. Show me your numbers.
Right.
My numbers are here. I don't claim to have $10 million. I will soon.
Right.
But I know that I've fucking probably made and helped a lot of people with connections, the
Right.
pit, Fireside, friendships. I've definitely helped make over $10 million in small business revenues.
And what is the biggest step for people who are going to join the pit, follow Ryan? What is the biggest thing for them to look forward to in the next step, this next journey? Because it's going to be huge. So what do you think they should look out for? What part of it should they be involved in?
Yeah, they should be involved just from what we talked about before, just accountability, friendship,
Yeah.
good people on the same mission. But we're going to launch a media group.
Right.
People are sleeping on me like I'll be fucking Fox News. I just have a fucking like a ticker that just acts different. I don't know what to say. It's not a persona. It's not a character.
Right.
Sometimes it's perceived as like I say it in the wrong way. Like I'm gonna smash everybody. I just want to win.
Yeah.
If there's another fake CNN fucking tool bag out there that's maybe thinking the same concept because he's a smart guy on the other spectrum of what I believe America should look like, I'm coming for him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to smash him. I'm going to smash every bad guy along the way. I'm going to help every young guy that was like Ryan, every young girl that went through tough shit, every guy that was like Marky. And the more that you do that, you attract the right people. Fireside has lost money for 4 years.
Right.
I'm $355,000 in. I lost $20,000 on this last event. Show me another fucking guy that's losing money
Right.
while helping all these people make the money and get to the places they want to be. It doesn't happen. And back to like this house for my family, like the documentation that we're going to put out for that, it's going to move people.
Right.
There's a guy that got kicked out of high school. He's now in a $2 million home with 4 acres, surrounded by 1,000 acres of preserved land. I don't say that shit to brag. I say that shit to say that my fucking ass was able to do it. Why not you?
Right. Right.
And I think a lot of people just flash their shit, flash their cars online, their watches, you know, whatever else they're doing. And I get it. There's some attention to that. I don't hate on it. But, you know, my motivation is fucking real. And I have never, ever, ever fucking deviated. Whether that rubbed people the wrong way or not, I don't fucking care.
Right.
I've never changed.
Good. I wish you the best, man. I'm looking forward to being a part of it. What your team has is super special.
Yeah, this is the last one in the yard. I have some good friends
Yeah,
here.
man. To the boys who've been doing it, man. Great
Maddie.
job, Maddie, Trev, Kel.
Everybody.
Boy, Mark.
Everybody who has helped. Kelly's been a trooper.
Ryan's beautiful wife.
Every fucking podcast she's inside wrestling 2 kids, random people showing up to her house.
Yeah, man.
You know, this has been fun. We're going to recreate the set at the new place. We're very excited about how that looks.
Cool.
It will be different, but have a lot of the same feel.
Cool.
The media company that's being launched is going to be something very different. And this ain't the Ryan show. You motherfuckers got it wrong if you think it's the Ryan show. It's the Fireside show. It's the Pit show. It's the American show. And I'm excited.
Good for you, man. God bless.
Thank you for being here for the last.
Appreciate it, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.